hero that does not deal at all with Chen creeps. It's bad against PL.
Awful against PL. Like, it doesn't do anything to PL. Like,
I don't actually...
But it would be nice and fast-paced, but yeah, I don't know.
The idea, I think, behind it is whenever they pick this Medusa, it's another core that gives
a really
bonus
good ban.
damage.
That's
Yes.
a super good ban.
What else is available then in that regard?
Sick.
I don't know. I'm not...
Just so ballsy picking Medusa against Phantom Lancer. If this game goes bad at all, like, the game ends.
But
I guess it would anyways, but...
We saw this matchup earlier. I'm not sure if it was in that Kinguin series or if it was in the series after, the Lina Medusa. That was Brile when he owned the Medusa mid lane. Be a nice matchup if they send the Medusa mid and then the lane.
Remaining. Dire team pick.
I don't think the Medusa wants to be anywhere near the Chen. I think that is just super... And this is another really hard counter to Medusa, and even to some degree Phoenix as well.
So it's Nature's Prophet for the final pick. It's we're going to have a bug down. Oh, never mind. There it goes.
A tier.
So it's not a weird pick for looking at Kinguin. This is what they typically go for, is they pick a lot of Nature's Prophet safe lane. So in this way, their lineup's not greedy, kind of. It's still greedy, but it's like at least Prophet can fight all the time.
I gotta say, I don't know if I like Kinguin again. I thought like in the first series of the day they were kind of just trying stuff out, but I'm looking at the heroes now and I'm just like...
I want it to work. It looks cool in theory crafted.
It does look cool, but okay, so the nice thing about the Medusa and the Phoenix Energy is like, you can egg a Medusa ult, right? And then you're taking damage, you're trying to run away, you either turn around and get stunned by the Medusa, or you run away and you potentially get stunned by the egg. Alright, great. What do you do about Chen? Like, what is your answer to that hero? And then you have two really good matchups on the side of like the Nyx being good against Medusa and then the PL being good against Medusa on top of that. I gotta say I'm not a fan of what Kinguin are.
The Nyx definitely helps seal my determination about that. Like throwing in just a random mana burn that could just wreck Deuces.
They also had to pick Furion into Nyx, which is a hero that you don't really want to play as Furion because +1 and a Nyx, and that hero is just a goner.
Prepare for battle.
Alright, well, I feel like the panel is very well decided on what they're digging and what they're not digging, and Kinguin could be looking a little bit rough in this game. We'll see. But thank you guys so much again for joining us with that one. Purge, now that we're here, I do feel like this hero needs a response, and it really doesn't have it.
Are you talking, which hero are you talking?
Chen, sorry, I was highlighted now.
That's what I figured. It is going to be an issue, but they kind of just have to hopefully stabilize the lanes. There's some things you can do, like block camps, for example, and that's what they're going to start with, putting an observer ward to block the large camp on the lane down here. Although this is the lane Kezu's in, and we see a smoke actually.
Oh, they're wrapping around.
Interesting. Are they going to try to like? There'll have to be a Kezu stun in to follow most likely, but they're going to find the Shadow Demon. Here comes the stun.
And it gets on both? Are you kidding me?
The Lina wasn't ready.
Kezu, they get the banishment now and just going to walk away, but still taking a good amount of damage.
His power shot, he could skill it and use it, but... What is it? Come on. That was a beautiful stun. Where's the follow-up? I mean, skilling Light Strike Array is probably a big negative, because I guess it's about the same damage, but you can't farm in last hit as well with it. But if they would have landed that follow-up stun, that could have been possibly 2 kills.
Yeah.
Power shot hitting 2 people, and this doesn't work out, though. What could have been? 2 and 2 bounties.
Very normal start to this game. It is going to be a little bit of a different looking lane. We've got the Beastmaster and Phoenix together, and it's going to be Kezu down here bottom with the Wind Ranger. So they're swapping up the lanes a little bit. I guess just to dodge, Madara's going to head.
Looks relatively fine for both lanes there. Medusa Lina is going to be interesting, I guess, because that's the one here that ideally wants to do well, but they'll probably trade pretty evenly.
The thing we didn't mention is that Penance was skilled up first there by Misery.
Yeah, super normal. Everybody's doing this right now just because the creeps don't spawn for a minute anyway, so if you have to walk around not doing anything, it's kind of a pain. Once in a while you do get kills, so... Although looking at it now, I kind of feel like he probably wishes he had the ability to grab a creep in 20 seconds.
He's going to need to soak up top lane here and see if he can help out Madara a little bit more. A lot of pressure coming on by these treants. The other thing is that they might just be able to out-deny it for a little while. Say that though, there's a deny that comes from the Chen instead. Fine. Perfectly fine as they throw out another Pendants down Exotic Gear, the immediate banishment, and then the walk away as the right clicks come through.
Just disrupting at the right time, waste penitence, and they'll just stand here in their dual lane for now. 6 last hits for Medusa actually, Lina at 5, so I guess they're going about even. Like trading everywhere basically.
And as far as like rotations, the big one is going to be the Chen, I would imagine. But outside of that, I get the feeling that there might be that many kills. Is there anywhere that you might think you could look
Maybe
for
top?
Maybe
Okay,
top?
I almost blocked him in actually with Disruption and Chainsaw, it went crazy, but got Soul Catcher. It's going to be a hard one though. We need like a couple more hits. Yeah, probably not going to see too many kills for now. Maybe in the off lane for Dire, I guess. Phoenix is always vulnerable. He actually does get stunned here. He's got to dive though. Dives forward looking for damage, but Soxa dodges it fully, and that's going to be a kill for sure. No?
Dubious? Power are able to walk away from that one, actually. They do have another power shot in a second, and it's like Wind Ranger's not going to attempt it.
She relied on... Oh, never mind. There's the kill. I guess that was the other one, right? A lot of aggression, but I'm going to guess they right-clicked him until he died. But he used Wind Run to dodge the dive just to stop the damage output, and then that was why he couldn't pursue. Even though it's only 40 damage. It's really a crap nuke, but...
Regeneration.
Now, 1-0 so far right at the start of this one. We have Misery now who does hit level 2, and guess who it is? It's a Satyr. This camp was not blocked off, and this makes the lane terrible for Kinguin.
A lot of regen now. They can clear with the Treants. They can out-harass their opponents a little bit. It's definitely a nice pickup to have. They're almost out of tangos, actually, on Kinguin's side. Actually just fighting Treants constantly.
It's kind of nutty, though, all the regen they're going to get, and like now you look at it, feels like it's going to be such a difficult lane for him, constantly getting hit by those nuke shockwaves. Mid, you talked about it a little bit, still very even, trading out farm, really to write home about.
Yep, both players just buying a stat item so that they can increase their competitiveness in last hitting, and Nisha getting pretty low actually with that nuke, but he should have, yeah, he's got items coming already. Here's a salve and a raindrop. That'll give him tons of survivability. That's a hard kill to get if anybody rotates, so I assume Chen will probably just stay top, maybe go bottom sometimes and try to pressure those lanes, so all about the dual lanes here.
Bonus, of course, of Exotic Deer. He can head back home, teleport back out immediately. He doesn't really miss out on all that much in the stage.
He picks up an Aqua actually, so a little bit more armor for himself and the creeps. 2 points in Soul Catcher as well, so if they actually do catch a hero, there's a good chance they can kill him.
Trying to burn through this as slowly as possible, and actually managed to take down the Satyr. Not a bad pick at all.
That'll feel good. And he, Misery never actually cleaned up his camp. He will be able to stack it though, luckily for him. That means actually he's just going to take it. Take the Mind Stealer, it'll stack up anyways, and harass continues.
Dara backs out again, and it'll be a Centaur Conqueror instead this time around, while DD Rune is picked up for Thor on the
Dire's
Phoenix.
middle tower is under
If
attack.
he wants to, he can maybe try and come down here and put the hurt a little bit to these guys, but he is only level 2 right now. They're getting kind of outlaned in this one by BlinkPool.
Phoenix is just not the best laner. Level 3 now, he's going to be pretty strong though. 160 damage per fire spirit that lands, so still try to sneak the stack at least. Nobody attacks here. For Dire Heroes, I guess.
Still having away a couple of these possibly. They take the axes to the face, they back out afterwards, and again, top lane everywhere, pretty much just trading off farm. We might see some action as we get close to the runes.
Just a very close game, basically. Both dual lanes are going about even. Beastmaster gets killed here. Power shot, I believe. Yep. Finishes that one off. And they're going to fight for bounties. As a result of getting that kill, that's 2 free bounties there. Misery grabs another. Oh, that's a quad bounty for BlinkPool. That's huge.
Easy peasy. Happen. Now again, back towards mid, they throw out the Mystic Snake. And we do have continuation of the pressure up top. It's not as bad as I thought it might end up being up here with the Chen, considering he got that Satyr creep.
Well, it took him a while to get it, you know. By the time he hit level 2, finally gets to use the Satyr. And then he's doing some harass, but he had to fight Treants. He was actually just focused on lowering the health of the Treants, because that would allow them to get more lane control. But he never, like, that's just offsetting the enemy team's mana, basically. So that's kind of like what Chen does already, so.
Rotation in. They come in with the Shadow Demon as well, bringing 4 onto Kezu. He does have another stun in 2 seconds, but will eventually be brought down, I believe. Although the axes, they hit, they kill. And this is the strength of Kinguin's lineup. Pressure early.
Shadow Demon's already ahead of his that other game. He's got a magic stick, dude. Watch out.
Good about himself now.
Good pickup. Took a little bit of time, but they're going to pressure the tower now.
Maybe more. Oh, wasn't quick enough there. The power shot, rather the shackle shot lands, and as you said, power's starting to fall a little bit here.
Yep. This is what you want to do with the Prophet anyways. On the bright side, on the opposite side, BlinkPool is going to be taking the other tier 1. They didn't even have to gank for this. They just kind of show up. They take control of the enemy catapult as well. So a very easy tier 1. They're going to kill it about the same time, actually. So both teams, I guess, maybe content with this, considering how good the pushing lineup is for BlinkPool. I think they're relatively happy. But their pushing isn't bad either. Beastmaster trees and Nature's Prophet trees. Pretty good.
I mean, if you compare right now, too, this is the Medusa draft that's kind of getting away with it. Granted, PL is going to be a problem in this game, and he is still sitting right now top of the net worth, but it's sort of close contested with the rest of the Kinguin lineup.
It is, yeah. So if it's about even, then it comes down to things like how well each team ganks, how well each team fights, how do those little engagements go. And Kinguin does have the better team fight, but BlinkPool probably is a better ganking between like Lina and Nyx and Wind Ranger. Kinguin's a lot more limited in that way.
Now they move in. They find themselves one. Alisash need to back out again. He does hit the shrine. Might not be long for this world. They are TPing in with the tree though as they try and take down Misery. Axes, those the right clicks will be enough to find that kill. The BlinkPool back out. So again, just support for support.
It's actually not bad. I mean, if you kill Chen there, he can't do sendbacks, and then the rest of his heroes have to leave. But if that was some other support, maybe not a big deal. Maybe it doesn't feel good for Kinguin, but a trade like that, they'll have Chen creeps, but no safety nets. Beast not 6 yet here. He could get gone on. Yeah.
Oh, Shackle doesn't land though, and they don't hit on the power shot either, and so Madara and Fox need to back out.
Phoenix dive in 5, but they'll probably not pursue too much farther.
Wraparound's coming also from Misery, who's shown back up again, and has just a naked medallion.
Yep. Not too uncommon. Very good for pushing, basically. Good for jungling faster. Shackle's not going to land. He moves just a little bit out of the range creep. Yeah, if you ever need to take control of a creep, you can kill the follow-up ones that you don't want faster, which saves you time, which means you can be ganking more, and mana regen just kind of covers a lot of bases. Good. He'll buy boots eventually, but for now it's just nice to rush it.
B-Rune has had a very free game so far, going for that Dragonlance next. Again, this battle sort of around this area. They don't realize that there's a ward up here on the high ground, Kinguin. But with the rotation in from the tree, they are able to find it. Shackle lands, and with the banishment coming out, this might end up just being the kill onto Misery. Don't know if they can take any more, but they do take one of his.
Dude, that first exotic deer, Wrath of Nature, is so high damage. It's just awesome. Ends up killing the Phoenix on the back line here. Madara's doing a great job of always cleaning up these kills whenever somebody else on his team goes down, but Wrath of Nature, good spell. 60-second cooldown in these engagements, and it pushes lanes. Kezu's actually just AFK farming right now. I think what BlinkPool is saying is like, look guys, we're going about even. They've got a Medusa in the late game. Let's just aim for the late game. We've got the better hero matchups. We've got a PL versus Medusa. PL's doing great. We've got a Nyx versus Medusa. All of our lanes are going fine. There's no reason for us to try to like all in and end this. They're just going to go late. So Nyx just going to sit back. He's going to finish his Midas probably, and then maybe start moving around the map to go get some kills.
All right, here to hear first. We got No Rush 20 minutes back and online. Dota 2, alive and well. Madara going forward here, going to push out the wave yet again. We're getting close to that 10-minute bounty rune. Kezu seeing if he can make a Vendetta snipe onto Exotic Deer. There is a power shot as well, only level 2, but it might be enough follow-up to take down this Nature's Prophet if he steps too far forward.
Absolutely, especially with phase boots. He's not that survivable as a hero, so they're hoping that somebody will come forward if they can spot him. But I think Kinguin might have seen the invis, so he's just going to play it very safe. Bounty runes grabbed again. 2. This looks like, again, 4 bounty runes going to BlinkPool, but surprisingly the gold advantage is not the most. So 1k gold advantage for them. Not the same as the OG game.
We do have a stack of Ancients here as well, which it looks like Nisha's going to try and take down now. On the other side, there isn't a stack, but this one should go the way of Nisha pretty easily. This comes out before Mask of Madness also.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to have that right now, but Mask is on the way. He's got 4 points in Snake, 3 in Split Shot, so he'll still kill this quite easily. Hits level 10 as well, helps.
Up from the rest of Kinguin now, they do have a Roar as well as an Egg, looking for a fight. And the call goes towards Kaiser, and it looks like he sticks around to finish off these Ancients. They're going to catch him.
Yeah, this is actually a great grab of thing. It's going to be hard. He's going to be running up hills. Phase boots are actually on cooldown for 2 more seconds. Kind of unfortunate, but yep, there it is.
Running away, the dive. They want to try and get him, but quite
massive. If he doesn't have, I mean, he's going to Fire Soul no matter what if he's hitting creeps, but honestly, something as simple as him having phase boots right, he might have been able to catch his opponent, but Lina reacted very well. Maybe part of the reason she was farming there. She sits in the mid lane, they can wrap in multiple ways, but if she sits and hits Ancients, harder for them to approach up hills like that.
And The Midas getting picked up by Keizu 11 minutes in. And this is great for this hero. You can go around, try and find some kills when you're in Vedetta, and then whenever it's on cooldown, you hop back in with the Midas and make the play. But mid lane, pressure coming in onto this tower. They're going to try and defend against this. There is not sentry wards mid as far as I can see, and well, with the jump forward, they're going to force back some.
They actually do have one right in the middle.
Okay.
So they're semi-protected. It's always something Medusa's going to have to worry about, especially while she's still low on HP.
That was questionable.
All right,
at the
got the
best.
courier.
Whose was that?
That was Dire Courier. Kezu was able to find it. Now he's
Oh,
running
okay,
away.
on the back.
Patos, I think, is going to roar him, though. So he will be punished for this. He does have Spike Carapace, but with the banishment and then the follow-up,
Top tower is
looks
under
like he is going to die.
Is it worth it? Probably. First snipes are pretty good. I don't think Prophet cares that much, at least, but a pretty big gold change. I guess 235 gold going to the Prophet, a little bit of levels and things, but probably all right. I mean, Kezu's just waiting for his Midas to come off cooldown anyways, right? Might as well spend the time in the fountain where it's safe.
Why not? I think the thing that's crazy to me about this game is you look at the towers right now. It's a Nature's Prophet draft, and they have like no damage onto any of these towers all across the map. And then you look on the side of the Dire, mid's almost dead. The tier 2 top is really almost dead. Bottom's taking a lot of harassment. It feels like they haven't been able to get the wave push going.
That's because they just don't really want to hard commit to it. Because they have these like 5 team fighting heroes, it's not very safe for them to cross the map, group as 5, and look to try to set up under a tower. Because if their opponents get a good initiation, then your team fight is going to be all over. If like Phoenix dies at the start or Medusa gets bursted too fast, things like that will change everything. So they're just kind of sitting back, playing it safe, getting their items, and then once in a while Beastmaster is looking for a kill with a little bit of help.
About denying this one, but of course that gives away a lot of map control. Won't give up any gold, but
They definitely will deny it if they can here. But they're just a little bit worried about once they start lowering if the dive comes.
Shackle does not land, but Kezu is there, and they find themselves the Beastmaster, seeing if they can get this kill. He's phasing boots, seeing if he can get out of there, but with the focus fire, that is more than enough for the finish. And also mid lane, they're taking down this tier 1 tower as well. So losing 2 towers simultaneously, 4,000 gold lead for BlinkPool.
Yeah, with those 2 towers, it's very good pressure, and now PL can basically just live on the top lane. He'll push out the top creep wave, then he'll hit the jungle, then he'll push the wave again, and then he'll hit the jungle. And then it's going to be up to Kinguin to actually force those fights. And when your opponents have, like, if you have a really good team fighting lineup, but your opponents have really good pushing, it's really hard to play against, actually, because there's not a lot of times that they're going to, as long as they don't need a 5-man, that they're not going to show all 5 of their heroes and let you this opportunity, give you this opportunity to take a 5-man fight.
Radiant's bottom
So it's going to kind of be up to Kinguin to do a little bit of slow push their own and occasionally try to force fights if possible.
You have Nisha, again, just going to farm out this area. The Dragon Lance brought out to him by Patos. They're still trying to defend this Medusa. It's all about her. Invis Elisash does have a ward he can lay down here.
Because you spotted him as well, so he knows he's in the area.
Waiting for that ward to get dropped down and then play on him. Or by the creep wave. This has sort of been the build that we've seen out of this Shadow Demon time and again.
Yeah.
Difference is he has boots this time.
Yes. He doesn't always have a lot of opportunities to Shadow Poison spam. It's bad against PL. I mean, PL can get rid of Soul Catcher as well, but in this way, it doesn't matter if he's a low under level. No, he's just amplifying what his team does by a lot. And his team does more than he does. Still in
Radiant
biz.
scan.
They are ready to die for that. It was spotted, but
Wards, that one's placed down in vision, and yeah, Radiant know exactly what's going on, so they're just going to head over towards Roche, and they don't feel like Kinguin can come and contest this.
Shadow Demon had to kill that, because otherwise he loses his ward. Prophet ult will help a little bit. There's another bounty rune set up. Nobody's going for it, but with the Roche falling to BlinkPool here, it just kind of feels like the game is getting super out of hand for Kinguin there. Kind of reminds me of the game that they played through. They're sitting back and they're getting their items, but they're also not creating any pressure on the map.
Kezu.
They do catch Kezu.
And Orc gets down already right at the start. They're going to go in for the Supernova. Do they focus it down in time, though? Yes, indeed. There was never a chance. And meanwhile, the imprisonment, Elisash going to TP away. He does manage, well, to go down. Thought he was out of there, but dead in the grave, and said getting a little bit out of hand.
Very hopeful egg there. Just by the time I looked at it, he looked completely surrounded. He just probably didn't expect so many heroes to be over there. But if you look at the Dire wards, there's one like where their tower.
Oh my God, Patos! What did Kaiser do to you? He's angry.
Jeez. Well, they got there really fast. But basically the ward vision didn't necessarily spot out where all of the enemy heroes were, so he probably felt comfortable putting his egg there. It ended up being a mistake. And with no egg resummon, there's no way they're going to win that fight. Medusa's going to try to slow this down a little bit. She's doing some good damage to Madara at least, but she does clear the PL illusions decently fast at the moment. But it could get out of hand really soon. Once Madara finishes a heart, the amount of health that his hero has is going to like triple. And then Medusa's mediocre attacks aren't going to feel so strong.
The diffusal already in. That's just so much effective damage against Medusa. It's kind of difficult to make anything happen. Kezu, spot him for a second with the Sentry Ward down. Exotic Deer is here nearby another one, so if he moves anywhere outside of this area, he is going to get caught. But as long as he stays right here, he's fine. All across the rest of the map, you look at it, BlinkPool is just farming really efficiently, and you've got like 4 or 5 heroes that are just sat in this jungle. Kezu walks by.
Both fishing for each other, more or less. What it seemed like. Kind of an interesting strat there. Be like, I think I'm surrounded. I'll just stand still. Like, at some point, they'll be like, hey, I'm wasting time. But Nyx doesn't care, because all he's going to do is be walking around looking for kills anyways, right? So, him standing still, invis, no big deal. Exactly. He's got 60 GPM perk. This guy is made to stand still this game. Nothing else matters.
Happy as a clam, standing still. Yeah, this is feeling like, I mean, and again, it's not as if it's even, the kill score is basically even, but it's 7,000 gold lead.
Yep.
That's what's crazy to me about it. The bounty runes, the tower objectives, the way that they were laned, all coming up BlinkPool.
Because you can't just expect to like AFK farm forever and eventually win. They're occasionally making moves, but I feel like I can count them on one hand, where there's been like 2 times they did these smoke ganks. And other than that, it's been like straightforward laning stuff, where they're just kind of like, oh, they're pushing our lane, we'll like slow it down a little bit, but like BlinkPool just feels super in control right now.
Call comes out, we're going to go through the jungle here, then move in for the tier 1 tower and the tier 2. Honestly, the way that they're pushing the map is like how the Huskar game was previously, as far as the efficiency of it, and I don't know.
I like their smoking though. Kinguin's going to try to take a fight out of the base. He's just going to just break the smoke though. First one goes, it was an assassin, and he didn't notice in time either. The dust completely whiffs here.
Man.
So this is going to give BlinkPool the choice to change this up. If they want to react in a different way, they want to keep pushing. I think they're probably going to keep pushing, but they have to be careful. Can't let them have this like glory 5-man team fight thing.
Yeah, and if they just dodge, I mean, right now you look at it, nobody is farming still on Kinguin really. Like, if they just back up and head off on their own merry ways and start farming, Kinguin are just kind of sat here.
Yeah.
Does look like they're waiting for the moment. Dire's scan doesn't hit onto anybody. Kezu's going to head back out again. Do they have sentry wards to lay down? Does not look like it. They have some dust.
Sure. It looked like they were kind of banking on like a dive dust kind of a thing. Dust on Beastmasters as well. Not too many.
Exotic Deer is shadow amuleted. Now he's going to leave.
He's done this a lot. It seems like Kinguin does have a lot of experience standing still.
Yeah, it ain't great, man.
Pushing the lane with their ult at least, but yeah, they're always feeling a little bit on the back foot. BlinkPool is just kind of outmaneuvering them constantly.
And like that move, they back up, they wait, Kinguin go forward, then eventually they back out, and now BlinkPool can kind of push the tier 1 tower without that much going on. Still?
They might take all the bounty runs too. Sox is waiting for this one, but he walks away.
Yeah.
That was really good choice to leave. He gets Demonic Purge, that's a kill. A little bit of space for Kinguin, and better just to play it safe. Medusa's second item was a Hurricane Pike, by the way, so it's very stat inefficient, more or less, but it does help you get away from danger. Chain stuns, that kind of a thing. He's going to go Scotty next, so even more stats. It'll make his illusions generally very good, but his clear is still going to be kind of mediocre. So if PL kind of continues on his trajectory here, he should get out of control. Heart's finished now, so 2700 HP.
Very difficult to do anything, and the Aegis is going to expire now. This might be another moment where Kinguin could feel a little bit more confident taking a fight. They have egg available as they're walking forward, trying to clear through these illusions. Kezu has a Yule Scepter now also.
Great for setups, basically. Guaranteeing a stun. So in these moments where you don't want to have the skill shot, just Yules first. Problem solved. You can break Lincolns later on, just great. Interrupt TPs. Exotic Deer does end up getting the courier here, so waiting for it.
Okay.
They are courier sniping. I mean, Exotic Deer's not doing bad. He's 5-0-1. It's a really solid performance so far, but net worth is just a little bit behind the enemy heroes. This Orchid Shadowblade hasn't really produced a huge amount of kills yet.
Well, and I guess this 8,000 gold lead isn't really expanding at the moment, at least. And that's something to be said for that. As the game goes later and later, if this remains even in the static levels, then you're going to see the Medusa become a lot stronger.
Yes, but again, because the matchup isn't so good against the PL, I'm not sure that it might not matter.
Yeah.
It could. There's some ways you can deal with it. One of which is the 25 perk is great. Actually, arguably the 20 perk is also useful. Almost everybody gets 700 mana because it's a stupid amount of survivability. Against a PL, do you want more mana? Probably still yes, but if he goes Stone Gaze duration, that means 2.5 more seconds. Not that anybody ever gets this perk. I doubt he will, but that could be gotten. If your ulti lasts longer, I'm missing a kill. That was the Nature's Prophet getting killed. Looks like Hezu found him with his invis. Anyways, if you get the more Stone Gaze, that means more time PL can't look at you.
Yeah.
And then at the 25 perk, you can get Split Shot, uses modifiers so that every single attack that you do can proc a Maelstrom. Or if you want to be go the other way, get 7 actual Split Shot targets, 7 more. So that would give him 10 other hits. So hypothetically, Medusa has ways to deal with the PL, but the mana burn thing is the biggest thing that seemingly counters the hero.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see something that beats it, especially with like Disruption. He can get 2 free illusions that do 75% damage. If he just goes crazy on stat items, I feel like he actually can sort of deal with the PL, but I'm not 100%. Probably, I could easily be wrong considering PL being PL, but maybe there's a way.
I mean, with talents, everything always gets a little bit goofy as well,
Yes.
depending upon what people run it with.
That's right. Talents, not perks.
There you go. Forgot about that. Madara, level 16. As you mentioned, Heart has gone for the 250 health, and, well, we're getting close to Scotty.
Yep.
First big item.
Great item to pick up. It's a stupid amount of survivability, basically. So with Scotty on his hero and a possible disruption, he can hero control and he can stay alive and just has a silly amount of mana, basically. It's a great item. Dusa.
Patos did go for this Blink Dagger build, and he's able to find a roar onto somebody. Could be a very quick pick-off with the Station in Kaiser. Moves forward. There is...
Gank that tree. Again.
Thinking about it. Jump forward, roar. Oh, but the shackle, it turns it back around, and now the stun to follow up. But Nisha's here as well. They're going to start to deal the damage, and that is a dead Wind Ranger, maybe also going to be a dead Kezu. As they try to take him down. Madara killed off Elisash, though, on the other side. Now they need to back out with no Stone Gaze. They need to get the heck out of here, and the chase forward.
So just... Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and they just egg high ground.
All right.
This is kind of a good way to do it, because Nisha's by far the least likely to be killed. And he doesn't have ulti, so it felt like a moment, but as soon as the egg comes out, they know this is too dangerous. They can't go high ground against this. High ground, it's one hill, but still.
That's
kind
a
of
high
dangerous.
ground. Yep.
And the peel isn't quite close enough in terms of damage items. Like maybe if he has like Manta or something there, but I think that was a decent fight. You can really see how strong Kinguin is a team fighting. It looked like a sloppy initiation kind of because the Beastmaster got disabled, but all it took was Dusa ulti and they have to walk away for a long time.
Yeah, and do have that Scotty coming out now onto Medusa. I mean, again, BlinkPool isn't necessarily pushing the tempo that much right now. Medusa getting to the higher levels can potentially become a problem, and I think that the other X factor is normally you have the problem of immobility with the Medusa, but with Exotic Deer on this team starting to get very farmed, that sort of solves the problem that your draft might have.
Yeah, that all the other heroes can get stuff done. Blink on Beastmaster certainly helps as well. They might be able to catch a Chen here. Yep.
They might also find Nisha, who is alone, but they will find that pick off as the rotation comes around.
All right, Yule set up. He will be chain stunned.
There's a lot of damage. Sorry, he does not have egg, but he does have Sunray. Going to be broken immediately, and Nisha, after finishing off that Scotty, is dead.
It's going to be a dead Phoenix as well.
And no way out of there, and 2 heroes gone.
They were very ready for that. But the Yule setup makes this so easy, right? It's a guaranteed land on the disable. Now set up mid. Change targets.
That is rather unfortunate. They just lost everybody. I mean, Medusa doesn't have buyback because she just bought her. Are they just going to go high ground?
This is kind of throwy here, what just happened.
What?
I mean, they're ahead, but like, they needed to get in their base as soon as the Medusa was dead without buyback. This is kind of crazy that they stayed out on the map here. The Lina doing the smart thing, going for a different kill, expecting everybody to be in the jungle, and all of a sudden they just lose their barracks. They didn't have egg a moment ago. I'm pretty sure they just got Medusa ulti as well, and these guys are still out in the mid lane and get picked off by the Lina. I know it's still just like one mistake, that it's Nature's Prophet. Oh, he made a mistake, they had a sentry, he gets caught, but still, that was a big loss considering the fact that it was just 3 kills.
Yeah. I mean, off the back of 3 kills, they lose a melee barracks. 26 minutes in, 14,000 net worth lead, and ow. Definitely how you're feeling if you're a Kinguin fan.
Especially for him as well. I'm sure he feels bad because he was the initial kill. The Shadow Demon comes forward trying to save him. Just everything kind of snowballed there. And Phoenix maybe feeling the same way. Oh, maybe I can save this Medusa. No, she was very dead. Don't blame him for completing the TP. But if anything, maybe he should have ran left. Like, just run left. And he'd be like, I'm going to die anyways.
Yeah.
Don't lead them to my next hero kill. But they do have a gem on the high ground at least. They are able to disable, kill the wards. And they're going to send PL Illusions over here to mess. So at least they're going to be able to defend Erosion no problem, and they've got their ultimates up, so this is the thing they need to go for, considering they just lost some objective.
God, and Nisha is so close to that level 20 talent. Like, I almost feel like this is a little bit too greedy, even if you just wait a little longer. Although the wraparound might be too far that they might not realize it's coming.
They're going for the base, dude. I don't know. I think they're just going to clean up their racks, maybe.
All right, they're going in here. Roshan's starting to fall down very low. They're moving in. Kezu invis, but they do have a Sentry Ward down. He already pops his ultimate immediately. Elisage dropping down low. The egg is going to come out now. Do they have enough? They roar an illusion.
I think
now,
so.
They are going to be able to find that stun with the egg, but Medusa out of mana, about to be out of life. Madara jumps in, full HP. Patos is done as well. Misery is dropping low, but is he even going to end up dying? I don't think so. With everybody dead and Aegis going the other way, BlinkPool are having none of it.
A very close fight in a lot of ways, but it didn't quite work out. Disruption was used to create PL illusions rather than save somebody, which I don't think is necessarily the wrong choice, but Shadow Demon dies right away. Dusa ulti goes off, but it kind of just buys some time. They weren't like together is kind of what it felt like to me. And Lina was just on the outside picking off heroes. Just felt like Kinguin was very spread out there. They were close to taking the Roche, but they failed it, and that's a team fight win, and everybody gets cleaned up. And that's going to be another Rax. Again,
like, relatively speaking, you talk about, I mean, it doesn't matter what talent choice you take, it's going to be a big power spike having that level 20 and deciding to take that fight right before it. I mean, I can understand.
I don't know if it mattered, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it would have helped to have a little bit more mana or whatever, or maybe more stun gaze duration, but it's the more they needed to, they have this tiny window to win fights, it's basically 10 seconds. They need to stone gaze when their opponents have to run away, and during that period where their opponents are running away, they need to be pressuring and setting up and getting kills. And ideally you stack that with a supernova so that you have follow-up, but everything was very spread out. The angle that BlinkPool hit, the fact that they dewarded their opponent's observer wards, so their opponents just didn't even have good vision and couldn't make good decisions, there's a lot of things that added up to them winning that fight.
Well, Exotic Deer will find a pick off.
That was a cool sound.
Yeah.
I want to see that more often.
And now Exotic Deer will die.
He's got a gem too.
Down.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That was the gem he stole from the Knicks, though.
I know, but damn, dude, if he was able to, like, killing that hero was crazy. If he was able to kill that hero and go hide somewhere and save the gem, that would have been a huge play. Yeah. Although with that said, that was probably stealing the gem back or something.
Right.
So it would have just been breaking even, kind of. But either way, good kill. But that's your carry. Definitely the biggest issue with Prophet, and there aren't a lot of teams that run this hero in this way, but the Kinguin has definitely been one of them for a while.
I gotta say, it's definitely been a little bit of a disappointing showing from Kinguin today. I think they probably expected more of themselves so far, but 22,000 net worth down right now at 30 minutes. This is incredibly tough situation to claw their way back from. And well, we'll see if they're going to be able to do it. There is still that Aegis on PL, and we'll see if they're just going to decide to keep going.
They're the high ground. They're not going to give up here at this point. We got Lina's extremely farmed. She's equally as farmed as the PL is. PL's almost got a butterfly. He's got Aegis. They're going to hit this building, and all they have to slow this down is do so with Scotty. No Maelstrom yet. Queuing it up, but they're not there. Look at the damage to the tower.
Yeah, that's
gone already.
Well, again, BlinkPool just walking over Kinguin at this point in the game, not even bothering to take off shrines. They're just going to keep the pressure on, and I mean, got a disruption there as well. They're summoning some treants, trying their best. Hitting him from the low ground. Madara's down to about half HP here. Ain't terrible.
I mean, this is all Shadow Demon's doing, though. He's creating some illusions. Yeah. Just doesn't feel worth it. I mean, they kill the ward. Shadow Demon's got to run now.
Oh my god.
Himself.
Yeah, that's not who you want to disrupt in these fights at all. Then he's just going to go down. He had to do it, but it sucks having to do it. And the tower is down. The buildings are about to be down. They have the Chen heal as well. Medusa's mana is gone. They're going to egg, but I don't think it's going to be nearly enough as Aurora comes out as well. Try and take out Lina, but they do end up being able to get the send back. Not going to happen in time. As Misery runs away. Hatsor trying to do his damage as well. Sucks. They did buy back on Nisha, and he's going into this fight doing some deeps.
They're also low. They need to pressure really hard now. PL is going to be able to get a doppelganger off in 2 seconds, but he's hiding. His heart's going to kick in, and now he's going to be full HP.
God, they don't see him.
There's only one tree left, guys.
Oh, the last tree.
Oh, man. Now they're like, oh, no, there he is. They got some kills at least, but that was buybacks as well. Medusa fought back at least.
Well, the last melee barracks is left alive. It will regen, but this is feeling like a foregone conclusion at this point.
One barracks is probably not going to be enough. You know, I just feel like if you grab a Prophet, you can't go this defensive stuff. Like and it also hurts to have the team fight heroes, I guess. Like it feels like team fight and having like one gank core like this doesn't feel very good. I feel like they need to make stuff happen around the map constantly so that this Prophet can be effective, because then you have an Orchid globally essentially.
Right.
And that's cool, but if your team just sits back and farms like a Medusa hitting creeps, it just doesn't feel like it does that. And same thing with like a Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon, if you're not going to set up ganks and use Demonic Purge offensively, then you're trying to play Shadow Demon Circle like a billion patches ago, just abusing disruption for illusions. And that doesn't feel good either.
I'm thinking again about the heroes that have really won today and throughout these qualifiers. You got your Spectres, you know, haunting afterwards. You've got your Ember Spirits. Who else? The PL, for instance, he can get involved in the fights also. And that just is not Medusa. And when BlinkPool picked it earlier, they also lost.
And she laned really well. Like Medusa played fine, but it's hard to get her in these early engagements in a meaningful way. And all the smokes they did do didn't work out so well. Just feels a little bit too teamfight heavy. As cool as the like Phoenix Dusa combo is, it does synergize well with Phoenix, but it's also important that the game is that you're setting any tempo. And I just feel like BlinkPool has done literally whatever they wanted all game.
Yeah,
all game.
Midas on this Nyx, he's got the Lotus Orb on top. I just looked at Misery's item. He's got Vlad's Solar Crest, Ghost Scepter, and a Perseverance.
Yep.
Like, they are so farmed. And it just feels like there's nothing Kinguin can do to stop this push that's coming.
They don't have the best pushing heroes, but what they've got is more than enough. Crimson Guard's going to slow this down at least by some time while the Rax regens, but look at killing all the trees on the way are actually so good for BlinkPool as well. They've got more space to play with.
Except for that one tree.
It's dead. They
hide with it. Well, Shackle, not quite going to land there. But again, the slow siege is coming through. And how do you fight into this? It's almost impossible. They're going to jump forward. And now immediately everybody running away. Kaiser, Yule Scepter to try and stay alive. He's just out of mana again. And with no buyback, the Hand of God is there. It's still a lot of damage coming in from that Medusa. But there's going to be the cheese. They turn it back around. Patos dies in the grave. Madara also turns on to Nisha. They actually just need to back out for a moment. But the Centaur's Stomp comes out as well. And now the retreat, now the jump back in, the focus fire, he's muted, he's silenced, but he's still killing fools. And Nisha eventually gonna go to the grave. Good game, well played, called. They didn't stand a chance.
They did not. I feel like this is one of those games that actually might hurt BlinkPool in the long run, because it's, when you get used to people not pressuring you in the slightest, you just get a little bit lazy, I feel like. It's a